This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 274. Adults Can Do Whatever They Want, by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. And hi again, welcome to Optimal Startup Daily. I'm here with you every single day reading to you from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship. And if you have any topic requests, we love to hear them. So come to oldpodcast.com to share. That's oldpodcast.com. And maybe we'll feature your idea on a future episode. And now let's get to today's post as we optimize your life. Adults Can Do Whatever They Want, by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. Here's a convo my 5-year-old son and I had the other day. 5-year-old, what are you eating over there? Me, a chocolate bar. It's tasty. 5-year-old, how come you can have a chocolate bar right now and I can't? Me, because I'm an adult, and adults can do whatever they want. I probably should have said, because you're still eating your dinner, or you can have one later, or here's a little piece of it if you pay attention to the lesson I'm about to teach you. But instead, I played the adult card. And I ain't gonna lie, it felt good. Also, scary. Think about just how free all of us really are right now, and how much damage and trouble and awesomeness we can get into at any point in our lives now that we're on our own. Don't want to do the dishes? Forget about it. Want to sit on your ass and gorge yourself on ice cream and Netflix? Go for it. Want to call in sick and play video games all day long? I get controller number 1. Sure, we still have bosses and spouses and police officers keeping us all in check. I swear, officer, I thought it was Halloween. I wasn't trying to take all the bank's cash. I was trick-or-treating. But at the end of the day, we really do get to do whatever the hell we please. And that's exactly where the scary part comes in. Because unfortunately, there's also this thing called consequences. Webster's dictionary defines it as, never mind, y'all know what consequences are. Why do writers always go down that route, by the way? As if we're all so dumb we literally need to go back a couple decades and bring out the dictionary. Anyway, here was the rest of the conversation with my 5-year-old. 5-year-old, but Dad, that's not fair. Me, well, there's also these things called consequences when you do things as an adult. For example, if I eat this chocolate bar, I may get fat, or get a toothache, or upset your mother for taking the last one from the box. Psst, don't tell her. So while it is cool that we get to do whatever we want, we also have to make sure we're okay with any bad stuff it can bring, especially if it affects someone around us. 5-year-old, what does affect mean? Me, look it up in the dictionary. Just kidding, although this is the right way to bring up a dictionary. Me, it means everything you do can change something else. If you go and hit your brother right now, he's going to cry. And then you're going to your room for a timeout. Just like if I were to hit our neighbor, I'd probably be hauled off somewhere too, called jail. So even if you want to do something sometimes, it's good to think twice about it unless you really like getting into trouble. 5-year-old, I can't wait until I become an adult. Me, so you can eat chocolate bars? 5-year-old, no, so I can punch my brother. Facepalm. I started reading this new book called 10% Entrepreneur by Patrick McGinnis, and it reminds me a lot of this adult stuff, simply for the fact that it helps contain us more despite our brains thinking other avenues could be better for us. For example, everyone thinks self-employment is all rainbows and freedom and full of cash money millionaires. And while that's partially true, there's also a whole other dark side to the game when things are anything but. I can't tell you the times I've considered shutting it all down or getting a new job or not knowing if I'll be able to support my entire family from this crazy thing called a blog. Yes, it's fun, and yes, there are advantages up the yin-yang, and technically you don't ever have to work if you don't want to and just take off traipsing around the world. But at the end of the day, it all rides on your shoulders and your shoulders only because you're the boss. It's a roller coaster of emotions and you're not wearing any seatbelts. Without self and emotional control, you're doomed. Which is the basis of the 10% entrepreneur idea. I've only read the first handful of pages so far, but the notion is that it allows you to still dabble in making money on the side and starting your own hustle, but with only 10% of the effects. You're still tied to your day job and the structure, but you also get to reap the rewards of putting yourself out there. And I'm going out on a limb and will say that the amount of positive return on that effort will likely be much greater than 10% too, making the deal even sweeter. As the tagline of the book goes, live your startup dream without quitting your day job. Check it out if you've always wanted to dip your toes into business. It could be a good solution for you. With everything in life, there's things we want or think we want to do, and then there's the realities of what could happen if we act on them. Eating a chocolate bar won't cause much of a problem alone, But if you've already eaten 87 of them, or have high sugar levels, or they cost $7 a pop, then yeah, you're probably going to have issues. Just like if we sit on our asses watching TV all day, or quit our jobs on a whim to start a new venture, or anything else we desire in our lives. Moderation, good. Extremity, usually not so much. We all need some structure in our lives, or at least a set of rules to follow, even if we make them ourselves. This is the basis of personal finance, after all. Spend less than you make. Rule. Save and invest the difference. Rule, and an important one. Pay off your credit cards at the end of every month. Rule. This counts even if you're a hacker gobbling up all the free points and miles and cash back, by the way. The second you leave balances on those cards, the benefits start diminishing. Protect your wealth, stuff, and family with insurance. Rule. A boring rule, but a rule nonetheless. And always be learning and reading Budgets Are Sexy. Rule. The best rule. Our lives are riddled with rules, and for good measure. But that's another benefit of being an adult. We get to make the rules now. How sweet is that? We may not enjoy following them all, but if you want the life of your dreams, both now and in the future, the rules are a necessary part of making it happen. My son now goes around the house telling people whether they can or cannot do things based upon their adultness, even visitors. The lesson has sunk in, but if only he knew how good he really has it. Free food, toys, and shelter without any care or responsibility in the world. I don't know about you, but I'd gladly trade my chocolate bar for that. You just listened to the post titled Adults Can Do Whatever They Want by Jay Money of BudgetsAreSexy.com. And a real quick thanks to Netgear for sponsoring this episode. Do you need to upgrade your business's Wi-Fi performance? Is your Wi-Fi slowing down when you work from home because you're sharing it with your family? Do you wish you had your own secure Wi-Fi network separate from the rest of the house? Netgear Business's Wi-Fi 6 products represent the latest in Wi-Fi technology. They deliver unmatched speeds, coverage, security, and capacity for growing your business or working from home. They're also packed with features, like the ability to easily create a separate network at home dedicated to your work. Plus, seamless management helps you keep your guests and employees connected and your data protected, providing visibility from anywhere at any time. The world runs on Wi-Fi, and small businesses and home offices are no exception. With Netgear Business Solutions, you get the very best Wi-Fi performance to keep you connected whether you're in the office, working from home, or on the go. Visit netgear.com/business and use code OPTIMAL10 at checkout to save 10%. That's netgear.com/business with code OPTIMAL10 at checkout to save 10%, and I have that linked in this episode's description. And a big thanks to Jay Money, who is the creator of BudgetsAreSexy.com. And the Optimal team has been fortunate enough to meet Jay at some conventions in the past, and we can tell you he's a great guy, a lot of fun to be around. He typically writes about personal finance, so you can hear his content being narrated over on Optimal Finance Daily pretty regularly, but he does occasionally touch on business issues too, which is why we're reading his stuff here. He started Budgets Are Sexy way back in February 2008, and the idea was to track his journey of hitting $1 million in net worth. Well, after 11 years of budgeting, saving, learning how to invest, and making a bunch of mistakes along the way, he reached his goal, and millions of readers followed along. During that time, it became an award-winning blog, and Jay has now moved on to other ventures, and he's asked Joel of 5am Joel to take over the reins and keep spreading the good word about financial independence. So congrats to Jay on his new projects, and to Joel as well for getting to run Budgets Are Sexy. And again, for a lot more blogs from that site being narrated to you for free, just search for Optimal Finance Daily wherever you're listening to me right now. And I think that's going to do it for this episode, so have yourself a very happy Thursday. Thanks for being a subscriber, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for the Friday show, where your optimal life awaits.